back to Legal Operations One-on-One series. Today I have a very special guest with me, Anthony Alex. And Anthony and I go way back, helping clients build contract centers of excellence. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Contracts are the bread and butter of any in-house team. And most organizations think day and night about how they can continuously improve their contracting processes. So Anthony, what do you think are some of the processes and tips that organizations should follow to build a CCOE or contract centers of excellence that can withstand these uncertain times?
Thanks, Raj. Thanks for having me here. I would, today's, it's building a sort of an efficient and robust CCOE has always been top of every, at least top of the mind of most attorneys, most general counsel. However, in today's world, post-COVID, where everybody's working remotely from home or wherever, it's become even more critical, right? You build a proper process around it. So it doesn't really matter where your contracting attorneys are now physically based, but the focus is on the process that you've actually set up. So first up, I would say that it's very important to figure out what types of agreements you want to start with, right? Don't churn the ocean on day one. Figure out whether you want to go for NDAs, vendor contracts, client contracts, etc. So very important to figure out what kind of agreements you want to start with. And if you want to take small bites of the apple, start with NDAs, that's fine, but put a proper and efficient process around it. Secondly, ensure that your templates are updated and harmonized, right? So you have to ensure that organization-wide, you are clear as the general counsel or as the leader of the legal department that your templates are updated. You have documented playbooks that will ensure that every attorney in your team is looking at the same playbook and is kind of fully harmonized with the way that playbook is created, and you are sure about what your positions are, right? The approval matrix must be there, and most importantly, or one of the most key factors in this will be to ensure that you have the right technology and platform that complements your process, right? So these are all the key aspects that every general counsel must bear in mind for their CCOE.
Great. And what do you think a general counsel should do in terms of, training lawyers? How important is that in the whole process?
Training, Rachita, is extremely critical because you want to ensure that every lawyer is properly trained on the positions. Now, bear in mind that each attorney might have their own drafting style, right? I mean, you've got every attorney is different. But at the same time, there has to be a consistency in the way they draft. There are certain aspects of how your positions are brought out must be harmonized across all attorneys, right? So that is very key. Training is absolutely key. And sometimes general counsel or deputy general counsels find that it's too much of an effort and it's too much of an investment to train their attorneys, and so they delegate it downwards. But I would say that I would recommend to every single GC or a deputy GC that this is a function that you must take upon yourself. Make sure that this critical function of training your attorneys is done by you and you alone, because this is the heart sort of building a very, very efficient and robust CCOE. Make sure that you have a tracking mechanism in place, because this is the key to building an efficient CCOE, right? You have to ensure that you know when the contracts come in, when it's come to legal, when has legal looked at it, who in legal has looked at it, what is the turnaround time, and has the attorney sort of turned it around in that time, just so as to measure the contracts that you are processing. Also, very importantly, you want to also reward your attorneys, right? You want to make sure that the attorneys that are efficient, that are churning out the contracts in a time-bound manner, are getting rewarded and recognized, right? So that's the other reason why you need to measure all of these things to ensure that you have the data, right? So you know that as an organization, how you have done well, and drilling further down to individuals in your team, you know who is doing better and is consequently being rewarded. So these are all the quick things that I would say that every GC must focus on.
Absolutely, Anthony. And I think the key, you've raised all the key points, having a robust process, training your people, And I think the point you made about GCs and deputy GCs taking that on themselves is absolutely vital. And of course, the tracking mechanism and very important is rewarding. So a lot of times attorneys see tracking as a negative thing. But I think what the point you made about making sure that the right person is rewarded is absolutely key, and that's really how people should take that on. So thank you so much, Anthony, for your time and for your wisdom, and everyone else. Thank you for watching this episode of Legal Operations One-on-One series. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachita.